When I was in Virginia, I didn't know the flora and fauna and walked around with a little notebook, always asking people, what's this tree, what's that tree? And I guess because of my naivete, someone told me that there were black snakes, very long black snakes. And someone said, well, you know about the black snakes, don't you? And I said, well, I've seen one. And he said, well, they climb the trees, which unnerved me. And they didn't, in fact, really climb the trees, but they do in this poem. Thunderstorm. It's time to talk about storms, how lightning cracks the sky, as when a woman stands before a man for the first time, and in nakedness the body says, "Here I am." As when God summoned Abraham up the mountain, and Abraham answered, when there is nothing left but trust. All day heat presses on the meadow like a sponge calling any moisture, and the muskrat gathers its young. The pond creatures sense what we ignore, bracing for the inevitable. At dusk, the trees form a cavernous line against a black, jagged cloud, and an incandescent light curls around its edges. Water vapor rises and falls in drafts of turbulence, and all breath banished. First the rush of wind, then the hiss of water as droplets mount one another, doubling and tripling to swirls and vortexes. We are never prepared for the violence of love, even with all signs and warnings. For those brave enough to remain outside, each feels individually summoned and stands alone, waiting for God to call her by the name whispered into the crib by her mother, and carried like a nigun used on the most sacred holidays. The black snakes hang from the tree, waving like reminders of ancient dreams, and are buffeted by the torrents. And the jelly of the sky oozes out of the ever-widening cracks.